Welcome to From Tech Developer to Real Estate Developer. Here you'll go from making ends meet behind a keyboard to living in true freedom by using real estate well. Never having to work a full-time job, report to a manager, or give your adult life to a corporation that probably doesn't care about you. We will give you everything you need for your journey: techniques, principles, real-world experience, and application, filtered through 5 key power principles from my book, People Power, Other People's Money, How to Win, Enjoy, and Reserve. Get ready to take notes. Let's jump into From Tech Developer to Real Estate Developer. Welcome to From Tech Developer to Real Estate Developer. I have an amazing guest here today, Willie, who operates numerous businesses. I'll go ahead and jump into his introduction. Willie solves real estate investors' problems primarily through multifamily investing and syndications. As a business owner in property management, multifamily investment, single-family flipping, junk removal, and used appliance businesses, he is well equipped to advise on any number of topics from operations to management and the financials and a whole lot more. Willie now focuses on networking and helping busy professionals that want to invest passively so that they can spend time on things they enjoy. In his personal life, he enjoys family life with 3 daughters, outdoor activities, and taking vacations. Welcome to the podcast, Willie Enriquez.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, would you like to add anything to that introduction?
Just a little bit. I just want to add my why real quick. Usually, people ask you why you started investing in real estate. My main reason is my daughters, be able to buy my time back. So that's why, like, when I say I help busy professionals invest in real estate, I had the same reason as them. We're trying to get our time, enjoy our time with our family, our kids, and be able to do what we want to do.
Yeah, I remember that's one of the pain points you help identify in folks, right, that are busy, getting their buy their time back, right?
Yeah, we we do the hard work for them, and they can have their money work for them. Eventually, be able to get out of their 9 to 5 by investing for passive, replace their income.
Yeah. What sort of fulfillment do you get, like, since your daughters were one of your motivators? What sort of stuff? Like, do you attend their games whenever you want? Like, I don't know if they're involved in games like that.
So I have a 7-year-old who loves arts and crafts. I try to bring her to all the arts and crafts activities, that I could, but as a busy professional like I am, I have multiple business. You gotta replace that income. So real estate is the only way you can be able to invest passively and be able to really, because I'm trying to leave these 2 businesses eventually in the future to be able to spend more time with them. Because one thing we can't get back is time. Like, our kids getting older. If we miss an activity, you can't reverse time and get it back. So that's like my main goal, and help others be able to do the same, because family is very important to me. I'm Hispanic, and I know for other people too, family is very important, and got to get our time back.
Yep, the biggest millionaire generator is real estate. So it's good you're jumping into this, bro. Okay. Well, let me see here. Let's go ahead and jump into giving the folks, especially people just new to the podcast, the rough outline of the time together. So number 1, people power. Number 2, other people's money. 3, winning. And number 4, enjoying and reserve. Number 5. So these are the main aspects to getting into real estate and making it work for you. So let's jump into it. Like, people power. You mentioned your daughters were a motivator, your inspiration. Are there other important people in your life that were motivators?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican. So my dad is one of my other biggest motivators. So if you don't know, a lot of Dominicans, they escape. It's a third world country if you don't know Dominican Republic. So a lot of them escape by going to Puerto Rico. So I was born in Puerto Rico. My dad actually he was illegal at one point. We got him his papers and stuff, but he actually took that boat ride from Dominican Republic to Puerto Rico to be able to chase a dream, which is baseball. So he had me like when he was probably like 15, 16. Wow. But in the meantime, when he was doing that, he actually got up to AA baseball, But when I was born, he had to give his dream to play baseball up because he had to work. So he started working in the fields in Puerto Rico. So he showed me what hard work was, because he gave up his dream. And one of my biggest dreams is my family has a lot of land in Dominican Republic, so I want to be able to build through real estate investing, be able to build a big facility for him because he loves baseball. And if you know Dominicans, it is in their blood. You know what I mean? You could talk baseball all day to them, and you could have a 24-hour conversation. So so my dad gave up a lot for me.
Yeah.
He was a single father raising 5 kids at one point. And he was a barber working hard. What a barber is. They work hard. You know what I mean? 9 to 5 is just like they go there, work 6, 7 days a week. So that's one of my other biggest motivators to be able to do that for him because he sacrificed a lot for me or for the family.
That's awesome, bro. You mentioned double A. I'm not quite familiar with that term. Is that a league?
So in baseball, there's single A, double A, triple A, and then you make it to the MLB. So a lot of if you know baseball, a lot of people have to go through the farm system. So it's a minor league system. A lot of people like the NBA has the G League, you know what I mean? And MLB, there's three. You gotta go through all three just to make it to the top. So my dad made it to double A in Puerto Rico. He could have made it to triple A. He was Jose Reyes is a baseball player that he imitates, like he plays, that he was playing like, is a shortstop, small guy, just speed. Speed. So he would have been one of them type, contact hitters. If you watch baseball, contact and steal bases, that's the type of guy. But yeah, he gave that up, man. For me, so I was his firstborn and he went straight to work, And as you know, Dominican families, well, Hispanic families, they come over here to work, chase the opportunities that they don't have in their country, They don't.
Yeah.
We have different opportunities than other third world countries.
That's awesome. So you learned firsthand what sacrifice looks like with that.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand, and I've been sacrificing most of my life just to be able to work hard for them.
Yeah. How did you kind of try to I guess you mentioned before that you have a lot of coaches and mentors. What sort of things did you learn along the way to effectively sacrifice, work smarter?
I learned how to I have some mentors in Dallas right now that are I'm very close with, and they're teaching me how to delegate. So it's very important for me because trying to get time back. So I'm trying to be able to delegate a lot of my businesses, a lot of the stuff I do on a day-to-day basis to be able to get the time back. Because usually if I got to replace myself in these businesses, and that's one of my goals right now. So that's one of the things I learned from my mentors.
Yeah.
I have to give up certain things, not be able to control it, So
Yeah, that makes sense. Is your ultimate goal to sell the businesses to them?
yes, I want to be able to. My goal is to live passively through real estate, help others the same way, and just be able to do what I want. If I want to go take a vacation with my family, be able to do that, because like me, I've always been working hard. So I never, if you talk to other successful people, they actually take a month off from their businesses or maybe 2 months off their businesses. So that's one of my main goals. I want to help others be able to do the same because since I was little, all I was in green, work hard, work hard, work hard. So I have to slowly but surely get that out of my system.
Yes, indeed. We have that in the Latino culture for sure. Like working hard is a part instilled in us.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that we covered people power pretty well. Covered your family inspiration, your mentors, your father. So let's move on to other people's money or resources. When it comes to that topic, what comes to mind for you?
Just helping others put their hard-earned money to work for them. That's what what I think about other people's money. A lot of people they don't realize that keeping the money in the bank doesn't grow as fast by investing it into like other assets. Everybody's taught traditional investing, meaning stocks, bonds, stuff like that. And it's been like that for a long time. And then when you start talking to people about alternative assets, it's very new to them. So it's a thing that surely I want to help other people, like the people around me, in my local area, learn more about how to be able to use other people's money to, invest.
Yeah. And I actually made a calculation the other day. Well, this was probably 3 months ago. and we're recording in November of 2023. But I actually calculated that a bank savings account, it actually loses you money when it's 5% at 3.7% inflation this year. You are losing a massive chunk, and then you got to pay taxes on the remaining amount. So you actually get negative
Yeah,
return
even
on
like
investment.
high net worth individuals, like they have, individual investment companies, they have a investment offers are charging them 2%. They
Mhm.
really not making money on the money they invested. They're losing because, as we know, inflation is going up right now, interest rates. So it's a lot of stuff that we need to be able to educate other people about that they don't know about. Because they're taught since they're young, work hard, get a raise. That's all they know. They're not taught how money works. So that's like when other people's money, gotta teach people how really money works.
Yeah, Tony Robbins released a book a few years ago too, talking about that topic of what you just mentioned, investment firms charging points,
Yes.
2 points. Up until a few years ago, they actually didn't even have to disclose what they were charging. This book outlined that, and how Congress essentially, as long as possible, put that to the side to not force people to disclose. Well, investment firms, like, and we're talking about massive companies that we're supposed to trust, like Fidelity
Yeah.
and all these TD Ameritrade. It's crazy.
The people of power that hire like these big businesses, they teach us, they want us to invest in traditional assets, they want us to invest in the stocks, bonds, life insurance, like that's all they teach us. But surely but surely people gotta educate yourself or meet the right people, network with the right people to teach you how to invest in alternative assets, because historically those stocks and bonds give you like a 10%, 5 to 10% return,
Mhm.
maybe less. You don't count inflation and taxes. Other assets will give you double of that if you do your research. So
Indeed, and educate yourself for
it's
sure.
very important to educate yourself. That's one of the main things. You gotta educate yourself, meet the right people, to be able to help you learn this. Talk to experts too. Like if you want to invest in self-storage, find somebody that's investing in self-storage, and so you could be able to increase.
Yeah, if you're a beginner, there's a lot of thought processes are going around, like, man, why do I have to pay somebody to teach me this stuff? I got all these free resources online, but what they don't understand is free resources will only take you so far. Do you have any sort of thoughts on those sorts of thought processes?
Oh man, we right now, honestly, you could get all the education off YouTube. You could go on the internet, but it's very important that you really need to talk to people about the experience. Who you like the experience is the most important part, because YouTube can only teach you, these books only teach you, but real life experience, like if there's a problem in real estate, it's not teaching you like how to fix that problem. So these people that you meet, they'll share, like when you come into real estate, especially multifamily, they'll share you problems they had in the space, and you'll be able to take like, all right, this person told me I had a problem over here. All right, let me not make that mistake, and
Mhm.
that's very important, that like self-education, you gotta meet the right people too. You only can educate yourself so much, read so many books, but the experience is very important. It's like I had a saying that somebody told me, who you rather go to war with, the person that read all the books about the war, or the person that been in war for 10 years? You know what I mean? So it's very important. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the person that been in the war for 10 years, and the person that read about wars.
Yeah, for sure. And the war hero that's actively doing stuff, right? So, although the art of war, to draw a direct example,
Yeah.
by Sun Tzu is timeless, that was written like thousands of years ago, probably.
Yeah, so it's the same thing with real estate. If you wanna talk to the person that read about real estate, or the person that been doing real estate for 10 years,
Yeah, and it's still doing it.
and still doing it.
Yeah. Um, there was something, I was just trying to think of an example of what is something that is not necessarily covered in like a pre-formatted template by a professional, like just giving it out for free. And what came to mind was, when you and I both know when we acquire a property, we're going to want to explore the expenses. And there was one kind of major expense I didn't really think about, which is in this particular property that I bought, there's double taxation going on. The county charges taxes and the city, because it's in the city of this particular county. And so I didn't account for a couple extra thousand for that. That's something that I'm just, because I'm in it, I know what's going on. Versus if you just try to get a bunch of free information all the time, you may not like be able to find those sorts of little, oh, this may be a gotcha. And by the way, I'm doing this right now, so it could be a gotcha for you. So make sure to look out for it.
Even now, like the team I'm part of, right? We have a very strong team that had construction background in real estate. You know, a lot of people that get it's important to have somebody on a team that has construction experience because it saves, you know, like we're talking about expenses. Like if you budget 10,000 on a CapEx fund for renovating this unit, and it could be more, you know what I'm saying? Because a person that don't have real estate experience, they go do the due diligence and they walk in there like, oh, 10K, you know. But the price of goods is higher now, you know. But our
Yeah.
team is able to, because of the experience, be able to save us in that expense because they've been doing it for a longer time. So we always underwrite, like everybody else, I tell you underwrite conservatively, but we really like underwrite conservatively and save on cost because our team knows what we could do and save on for each unit because of the construction experience. They've been doing it for over 30 years.
Yeah, that is key too. The right people for sure. Okay, well, moving on to the third section, winning. I take a different approach to winning. I try to also focus on what we learn from our mistakes, our failures in order to win. I think that's what gives us a lot of fulfillment in life. What's something that maybe you kind of hit your head up against the wall, but you were grateful at the end of the day?
Partnerships, because one thing about real estate is is it's a relationship business and it's a marriage. And I hit a wall on that very bad. Because when I first before my real estate career, I was taking care of people with disabilities for 7 years.
Okay.
During COVID, my belief, I didn't have enough information to take the COVID shot. So I was let go and I started my entrepreneur life. I invested passively in a deal with a partner, right? 2 years ago. Till this day, I'm still dealing with that problem. So through that, I really learned like you got to do your homework on partners, you know, like you got to make sure that they know what they're doing. They went full cycle on deals. They could bring value to you, do background checks, get referrals. Cause I learned the hard way, you know, and I invested a lot of money, like, you know, in this guy and still dealing with to this day. So now, like when I look into my partners, like the guys that I'm with now, it took me a year just to even start a partnership with these guys because I wanted to see what these guys are doing for, you know, what you guys are doing. Let me see. I flew to Dallas, seeing all their properties and seeing what they're doing. And then that's when I got into partnership with them. And then now I'm actually scaling faster because I did my homework instead of just going all in. Oh, you know, when we go into these network events, we meet a lot of people, but in reality, you never know what they bring to the table, you know, like you gotta see how they react through problems, you know, and you get in bed with them and then you don't know how they react when there's something bad going on, you might be in a long bad partnership, you know. So that's what
for sure. Vetting is a very key part to that, even for your like getting coaching or mentoring too, outside of partnerships too. So I'm glad you brought that up. I had also a similar experience, but luckily towards the end, relatively left unscathed. So God definitely protected me there. It was still painful, like it was several months of emotional torment.
Yeah, and also, you know, you gotta find partners that balance your weakness, you know. If you're great at something, focus on what you're great at and then delegate what your weakness in. So that took me a year to do that in a multifamily space, you know, find the right team. And I'm glad I went through that because in the beginning I was trying to do everything myself. So now like when you have a great team, you start seeing winning. You know what I mean? Like now you want to win deals and stuff. You know, if you don't have a strong team, you're not gonna get far.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, complementary skill sets, because think about just the conflict that comes up if y'all are doing the same thing. If y'all have the same strengths, you're going to be like stepping over each other's toes, like, no, this is the right decision. I know better for that call.
Yeah, I know. That's why I really emphasize when I talk to people about making the right partnership, meeting the right people, because you don't want to be in a bad relation, man. Because if you get into a deal, it's a 3, 5 year, 7 year, whatever, 10 year, and then you guys don't like each other, you're not gonna be a happy person, you know.
Yeah, that was I'm glad you brought the towards the beginning that up too. I was in a Christian men's conference like 2 weekends ago, and he said basically when you're dating somebody and sort of also analogizing it to partnership, is there the activities of that person something you would marry, or would you not? Like, are they backstabbing other people? Are they blaming other people as fast as
Even
they can?
and if you like talking to people, right, and they start talking about other people, right, that's
Mhm.
a big no, you know. Like if these people you're with start talking about other people, then what do you think they're gonna do to you? Like
Yeah.
what do you mean? They're going to the next person and talk about, you never know. So that's why, like, when I get in conversations, I'll be like, they start talking about other people and stuff, I just walk away. Like, if I gotta go to the bathroom, figure it out.
Yeah.
Something out to get out the conversation, because like you don't want to be around people like that, you know.
Yeah. You got to go to the bathroom, then you escape through the window.
Figure it out, because people like that is not, eventually they, it's sour apples, they showing stuff in their character, they start talking about other people.
Yeah, for sure. I know you're enjoying that content, but I just wanted to personally invite you to the Commonwealth Affordable Housing Fund. If you want to passively earn while also building communities, doing philanthropy even, while getting quarterly distributions and even sharing in the exit about 5 years down the line, then please join us. This used to just be for friends and family, but you could join in now. You could be essentially earning through an expert, which is I, running the investment firm Commonwealth. So if you want to be a part of it, and also get access to exclusive events where we go to in-progress construction and I show you how your money is being used actively, and how the renovation was just complete, and how this is going to help change people's lives, how we negotiated an acquisition. So you could be a part of those events throughout the year and also earn passively. So if you want to be a part of that, please click the link below and I'll let you back to your awesome content. Thanks. Okay, well, let's move on to a lighter topic of enjoying. How do you enjoy what you've created?
Man, I enjoy the journey. I'm I'm really strong on growth and the person I have become through the journey, because before all this space, if you ever met Willie, he's a quiet guy in the corner, don't like showing who true Willie is. And very grateful I got into this space, because I overcame who I was before. I ain't like to talk to people, very shy person. And I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot. I'm very proud of myself, how far I came the last 3 years I've been in this space.
That's awesome. You know, that makes me think of, it's okay whatever amount of time it takes for you to get into this world. If you're a beginner and you're frustrated, it's 3 years in, it's 5 years in, whatever, 10 years in, it's okay. Take it at your pace. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, a lot of people make the mistake about comparison. Comparison is thief of joy. I've been I didn't, there's a lot of successful stories, people doing a lot of stuff in a year or two. My journey has been a little longer than that, but I'm Hispanic, man. I grind it out. I know my hard work will eventually pay off. And that's why I enjoy it, like I enjoy working hard. Hispanic work hard, man, and then
Yep.
seeing results. And now that I'm finally seeing I made the right partnerships. I met the right people now. I'm actually seeing results that I haven't seen before.
Yeah. And what people don't talk about too is there's a cost to the shortcut. If you're doing things that are questionable, let's say, like working 100 hours a week to get to those goals, there's got to be something suffering.
Yeah,
So,
like I said, time. So I'm
yeah,
not help busy people, man. You gotta get our time back, man. You gotta enjoy our life. You know, you only live once.
yeah, for sure, bro. Okay, well, we're reaching the last section here, reserve. There's many different aspects of reserve: financial, emotional, spiritual, um, financial reserves for underwriting, also just more segmented out into specific properties. What is an example of a reserve that's a latest reserve that was important to you?
Our latest reserve. Um, Jeez, so it's a lot. I'll just do the financial aspect. The easiest one to think about at the moment. Um, Reserves are very important, like in real estate, like for if you're doing multifamily, because if not, if no you I could ask you right now, have any of your real estate deals went as planned?
No, of course not.
Not any real estate deal that we could ask everybody. If you do find somebody, let me know. I want to learn what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause it's gonna go as planned, you know. Sometimes you might say most of the time you're gonna go over budget. That's how real estate girls always you knock a wall down, there's always something behind it. So it's important to have reserves, you know, like worst case scenario, have it, just be prepared. Even though you're not gonna use it, prepare for the worst because at the end of the day, you're using other people's money, and your investors come first, and you should protect their money as you protect yours. You know, you protect your family's money. If your family invested in a deal, you should protect your investors just as you know their family. You know, your investors
Exactly.
are your family, they're your best friends, and that's why it's important to have reserves for worst case scenario. Like you see in real estate right now, a lot of people went through the reserves because of the interest rates hikes. You know what I mean? They went through all their money, they gotta sell. They can't raise money just because of that. You know, but nobody planned for it. You know, the United States, that interest rate never went up that from the bottom up like that. You know, it been higher, but
Mhm.
it never spiked that fast. So
Yeah.
that's why. So financial reserves, man, always underwrite conservatively and have reserves for the worst case scenario because you never know. You know.
Yeah. I want to ask you more personal about the partnership thing because I think, especially when it hits somebody like a beginner, it could maybe be very useful to them learning. How
Yeah,
do you um, maintain yourself emotionally in such a difficult position? You know, because I don't know about you, but for me, I wanted to choke the guy out. You
man.
know?
They do want to choke people out, but in
Yeah.
reality is like you just gotta be humble for yourself because if you could handle this partnership, you can handle anything, you
Yeah.
know? Like you're having a trouble partnership. So imagine you having a trouble real estate deal, you know? If you can
Yeah.
handle that and figure a way out, even if you get out early, you know what I mean? Now you can figure out how to get out early on deals that you're in trouble, you know? But if you in this partnership for a long time and it's not getting you any results, it's gonna the way you treat anything is the way you get out of anything, you know. So if you treat this partnership, you take it last long in this bad relationship, you're gonna any deal you find that's bad, you're gonna last forever. You know how to get out early. So that's the
Yeah.
way I look at it. I just very humble, try to figure out how to resolve the resolution, get out early. Best way get out early before it gets even uglier, you know.
Yeah. So you, I guess, like me, also, I tried my best to focus on the silver lining, the lessons learned, the things that didn't go awry, that sort of thing. Is that what you try to focus on?
Yeah, evaluate, you know, what went wrong in the partnership, what you could have did better, you
Yeah.
know, your end,
Yeah.
because look at yourself, look in the mirror, see what you could have did better, how you could. It's all about communication. Communication is key, and maybe you communicate with them the wrong way, and they took it the wrong, or maybe you miscommunicated with them, or they miscommunicated with you.
Oh,
But
I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Definitely. I could have had weekly meetings. So instead of this ruminating anger starting to
Yeah,
build up, it would have been more level.
even like, make sure like you can hold this person accountable, or make it, like if there's deadlines to meet and this person missing deadlines, then you just get out the partnership early, because this is just they're already showing you bad systems. That's why, if you want to get far, make sure, you have a good partner that's supporting you. That's very much, and it could, and they're what they're bad at, and then learn how to figure out how to, get around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that brings up forecasting as a very important reserve too. Like if if you're in a partnership and you guys have a office that needs to be renewed in 4 months, have those difficult conversations every month. Like, hey, are we sticking around with this? Are we like, do I even myself want to be involved in this? Is the business itself not sustainable? Is it on a downward trajectory because of just the way the market is moving? These are all difficult conversations that need to be had.
Yeah, that's another thing. Be You guys have to be open. Well, growth, that's why I have difficult conversations. You know what I mean? You can't have a person can't how do I explain it? Take constructive criticism, then is this the right person you want to do business with? You know what I mean? Should
Yeah,
have the person you do business with should be able to also grow with you, be able to have these conversations and figure out the solution, solution-based thinking. If you can't have a solution-based thinker as your partner, then it's tough. It's a tough marriage, tough date.
yeah. I'm glad you brought these things up, because it's definitely great to reflect.
How far you came from different partnerships.
Yeah, for sure. And the things we could help other people to learn from them.
No, definitely. Like, at the end of the day, is each other's jobs to help you grow. If you in life, you gotta grow. You know what I mean? You gotta want to grow, be a better person. Because if I got kids, so I'm doing something wrong. I expect my partner to tell me like, hey, hold me accountable.
Yeah,
So you want to help your kids also be held accountable, learn how to hit that. You know what I mean? It's all
yeah.
happens.
There's a couple different things I tried to educate myself on coming out of that situation. One of the things that came up was a phrase, which is in the process of or not raising, creating the operating agreement between y'all, uh, which you don't necessarily need to be a part of the same entity to be a partner. You could be separate entities, by the way, but in the process of writing the operating agreement, it's best to think of scenarios that are hard, because what is the phrase, man? It is easier to think of stuff and exit in every situation when you still like the person. When you dislike the person, it's super hard to think of exit scenarios, clean exit scenarios, especially when you want to figuratively choke somebody out, right? You're going to be all like, in this other person's case, like
You
emotionally
gotta,
driven, not objectively driven.
and that OPA, make sure you what was your expectation of me? You know what I mean? What do you want me to be able to do accomplish? You know what I mean? This is your expectation, have it in the OPA, because then when it comes down the line, you have, if it goes like sour, you signed that you was gonna do this, this, and this. It's here. You know what I mean? You can't take it, can't take that. You signed it. I expect you to do this. You wasn't doing it. This is why our partnership doesn't work. You know what I mean? At least
Yeah.
they know that they signed it, and then they did it. They know themselves like, yeah, I wasn't doing it. So it leaves the partnership in a better take, like, than
Mm-hmm.
sour.
Yeah, explaining duties is a great part of that. Outlining every expense over $2,000 has to be signed off on both parties. If they break that, more than once, business automatically dissolves. What are some specifics you would suggest being an operating agreement?
Oh, that one's key. Financials, what money goes in and out, because it's really that, like, you got that one is key because there's certain situations when if you let the other person, if you don't know how they first of all, make sure these people know how to. They have their check how they're doing with their personal finances. They're bad at their personal finances. Do you want them a person that's being a partner? You know what I mean? They're a marriage. Then your business is gonna go down the drain. If they're bad personally with their finances, they definitely gonna be bad on a business end.
Yeah.
I think finances is very important and roles. Your expectation is what you expect from you to do,
Yeah. And as you get higher and higher in experience, it's gonna be more and more difficult to enter partnerships, I feel.
Yeah, I know like us, the team I'm in, we have our separate entities and then we also have an we're marriage. Everybody's in marriage. We're seeing if we all could work with each other and like each other. So far we're doing good, but can't predict the future. 3 to 5 years, what's gonna happen, this person will still do real estate, so
yeah. And to expand on why, like, gentlemen like you and I it's more difficult to partner because of there's different assets going on. So like if a beginner wanted to partner with me, if there was a lawsuit to occur, the lawsuit would first and foremost target me and all my assets, not the beginner that has probably no assets whatsoever. So I have more to lose too. That also comes into the equation of writing an operating agreement, partnerships, etc.
that's definitely for sure.
Yeah. Wow, man, we covered a lot of good stuff on partnerships today. That was neat.
It's an important topic that they don't talk about. And when you start getting into real estate,
Yeah.
especially in multifamily, because multifamily is a relationship and partnership business. So if you're new, make sure you do your homework on your partners. Make sure you do. I know this team, they do background checks. They gotta
Yeah.
they gotta they
That's
gotta
smart.
they gotta remember that I used to be in the police force, and but in reality, is it wrong to do it? No, you gotta do your homework. You gotta know who these people are. You never know because it's a lot of stuff that's going on that you don't want to be in business with somebody that's doing shady stuff in this business because it does happen.
Yeah.
That's it's not. You gotta talk about the good, the ugly, and you gotta talk about all that stuff. You know what I mean? So we talk a little bit about the ugly side of partnerships. You know what I mean? That they don't really talk about. Make sure So
Yeah. And when you think about it, we screen our tenants for background credit checks.
oh yeah,
There's maybe thousands of dollars being exchanged. Why don't we do it for where there's probably millions going to be exchanged? It makes sense.
No, yeah, you should highly consider it if you
Yeah.
want to go far, because you do your homework. It's a lot of you don't want to be that person on the newspaper. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that person that was a partner with that person because then the people gonna look at you, even though you had nothing to do with what had going on.
Yeah.
Can't run away from that.
Yeah. Just because
It's
you're
a small space.
associated, you can be involved.
This space is huge, but it's small. People
Yeah.
know people know what's going on out there.
Yeah. Uh, just the amount of commercial brokers in the nation is probably limited to a couple thousand.
Yeah, and then they all talk about each other. They all help each other out. So if they know that this person did that and you was their partner, even though you wasn't part of it, man, it's going to be very tough for you.
Yeah, that's another good point. Awesome, bro. Any last tidbits as we start to wrap up?
No, actually, thank you for having me. I enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed that we're actually Hispanic in this space.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of us more in this space. A lot of minorities trying to be in this multifamily space, with their podcasts and stuff. So I really enjoyed our conversation, talk about partnerships.
Amen to that, bro. We definitely need more of us here. So I'm
Yeah.
glad we're creating more of us into the market. So what are you involved in? How could people get involved with you?
So I'm involved in multifamily, and then you want to reach me and the team out. If you could see, I have the my QR code there. I'm part of the you look what's up, the Cash Flow Empire on Instagram. The company I'm in is WB Capital Holdings. You can search us. And if you want to learn more about how to invest passively and get your time back, I know we all value our time, reach out. I'm open.
Okay. You said you're part of T-Mode. What is that, another group you're part of?
No, we're actually it's called the Cash Flow Empire. We're
Okay.
actually, and on Tuesdays we have a Tuesday podcast call. We're actually, there's a group of us. We created they created before me. I joined them, but we created this for us to learn about the good, the bad, and the ugly about real estate, because people don't really talk about it. We're kind of big in it. We're definitely big in Dallas. A lot of us are in. I'm not in Dallas. I'm in Connecticut. But most of them are in Dallas. As we Dallas is an emerging market. That's where we focus at on buying all our assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. One of our past guests is in Connecticut. I gotta connect y'all.
Oh, definitely. Definitely connect me, because it's not, bro. Yeah, we're in between Boston and New York. In the middle is not like a lot of huge guys doing this big, like that's on platforms. It's only like probably, who knows, a hand maybe.
Yeah.
Connect with that person.
Good, bro. I'll hook you up after this. Awesome. Well, make sure to scan his QR code if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, make sure to go to his website. What was your website again, sir?
WBCapitalHoldings.com.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks for watching or listening. Hope you have an amazing rest of the year here as we go into the holidays. God bless you, and thanks for watching From Tech Developer to Real Estate Developer. Thank you for joining us on another episode of From Tech Developer to Real Estate Developer. I hope you got a lot of return on investment for your time today, and I encourage you to share it with other people so that they could also get returns with this valuable education to invest in real estate. We're also sharing this free education because we want to help people learn how to invest so that they could also create more affordable housing units. We have a great goal of creating 2.5 million affordable housing units by 2047, and free education like this is a big part of that. So by you sharing, you are a part of the equation to create those affordable housing units. So I can't wait to see the end of the road that we're going to achieve together. Have an amazing and blessed day.